Hello everyone. So today's video that I'm going to do for you is a bit of a funny idea I had. For a few years now, I've been a classic rock magazine subscriber, thanks to Kara and her daughters who got me a gift a couple of years ago. I bought the odd classic rock magazine and now I'm a subscriber, so I'm getting them on the regular, which is really neat because it's a great magazine. I love it. It's such a well done magazine. So I thought, you know what, I've got a pretty good collection of them now. So I picked out some of my favorite covers and wanted to show that, but also talk about the band that's featured on the cover, because some of these bands I haven't mentioned yet that are in my collection. So that's what I'm going to do. Today, first of all, start with Queen. They've been featured on a couple of covers, of course. They're a big classic rock band. Really neat stories about them and how much they ruled back in the 70s, okay? As far as Queen, I don't have vinyl of Queen's, curiously enough, but this is a really cool greatest hits. They've got a couple of greatest hits collections, and they're a kind of band that when you do listen to them again, or you think about listening to them, you're just like, wow, they got some amazing songs. Next one I wanted to show is Deep Purple. Obviously a very classic classic rock band. Again, I've got a couple of issues with them as featured on the covers, and the ones that that I have in my collection, the music for them are from the classic rock magazines. They had a habit of including some CDs, and these are a couple of Deep Purple. They're kind of like EPs, if you want to say, 4 or 5 songs on each. And this is sort of my little taster of Deep Purple, as I really didn't have Deep Purple in my collection before. So it's kind of neat to have some of this. This is kind of more of their newer stuff. I'll have to get into their catalog from the past because they've got a pretty deep catalog. Next up, I wanted to show this one. This is cool, and this is what Classic Rock Magazine does, some sort of specials. This is a special that they did on, they do some specials on anniversaries for albums. And this is Permanent Waves, Rush. And this is my Permanent Waves Rush album. Really good album. Obviously, Rush is a staple to our classic rock magazines. They also do quite a few features of artists where they'll have in-depth interviews. This is Mr. Robert Plant. Really cool interviews that they feature because, they give them a lot of time. It's a big part of the magazine feature, in this case, Robert. Wanted to show this cool album that I have of Robert Plant. The Principle of Moments. I've got a couple of Plant individual records. I mean, we know Plant, of course, from Led Zeppelin fame, but his individual stuff that he put out, solo efforts, so it's really good quality music. This one here is one of the early classic rock magazines that I owned, that I picked up. This is quite an older one, and I wanted to show it because it's Kate Bush on the cover. Of course, Kate Bush just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, and a lot of controversy about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions this year, as there is every year. But Kate got in, and it's hard to argue her fame, for sure. This is a Kate Bush CD that I quite like in my collection. The Red Shoes, very good CD, very good album. And here's another one that's a feature, anniversary type feature of a specific record. Abbey Road, the Beatles. And this is something that I was able to add to my collection, Abbey Road record. Very cool. Pretty neat, simple cover, right? Soundgarden. This is a feature I loved because band that I love. Band that should have went into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year, but perhaps in the future, probably most definitely. Such a cool, modern, classic rock band. And this, for Soundgarden CD collection I have, is a greatest hits, A-sides. And it is really spectacular. It got some all their big hitters on here. What a band. The magazine also does a lot of features, of course, when we lose some of the classic rock artists, which happens, and it's going to keep happening as they're aging, of course. This one here was a bit of a surprise, and it is Christine McVie, and they dedicate certain magazines to these people. You can learn all about their history, and it's really cool. I think it's a nice way to remember the artists. That's my Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. Christine was a big part of that album, of course. Def Leppard is featured in quite a few classic rock magazines. They get some features, of course. They were such a big part of our building that brand, the classic rock brand. They do a lot of discussions about Def Leppard's newer output because they keep going. They're going concern band, of course, still to this day. However, I wanted to show this particular album in my collection because it's one of our favorites for all of us growing up with the band. Hysteria. Great record, really. Like, fantastic. What I like about the classic rock magazines too is I get introduced or get more introduced, deeper knowledge about some bands that I just wasn't as informed about, and I really love that. And even though they're older bands and some of them are nearing the end or at the end, it's fun to go backwards and find some information about them. This is one particular one, Lynyrd Skynyrd. I mean, I knew about some of their stuff, of course. Band with such an amazing history and discography. And this is my one piece of Lynyrd Skynyrd material I have. This is good. It's too short, but it's good. And it's some of these 20th century hits compilations are really good way to get introduced to a band and get some of their stuff. It's in no way illustration of the depth of their discography, but it's pretty good. And I also wanted to show a couple of, like, the classic rock magazines have some really cool feature magazines that I get, which is really neat. And they're just so well done. Various articles included. This particular one is was really cool. It's cool to visit 100 Guitar Heroes. It's, you know, just chock full of people. And again, some of them that I get to know more about by these features, which is really cool. So if you're into any kind of rock, classic rock, and I would urge you to consider Classic Rock Magazine, or they've got a few other ones that I'm considering getting a subscription to Prog Rock as well. That would be really cool. And it's a lot of fun. I love getting them in the mail. And I really thank Kara for starting me off and her daughters for starting me off with this, because I did pick up a few along the years, but having them come on the regular is so much fun. And that's my video for today. And I'll be coming at you with another video on the weekend. I've got lots of ideas and having a lot of fun with it. Hope you like them. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me a like if you like it. Give me a comment. That's cool. All the best, guys. Take it easy.